Hey, Sexy Squad, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. I missed you guys. I know that I have not been responding to comments. I know. I've been on vacation. I've been a little distracted, but I'm here. I love you guys. Don't worry. I love you so much. So there was this thing where Prince Harry took a solo trip to Tokyo, and of course, the social media monster and the corrupt tabloids and even the U.S. tabloids that just need to get a piece of all of this goody, clicks and numbers and money that they get from just talking about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle constantly, and not just letting them do their thing. I just wanted to kind of put out there some information and talk about it with you guys and get your thoughts on it. By the way, before we really get into it, if you are new here, please do me a huge favor. Subscribe to this channel. We talk about sussexes, but we talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We talk about lifestyle, about politics, about being women, about all types of stuff. Lifestyle and celebrity culture, motivation, all types of stuff. I would love to have you guys join this community when you do subscribe, and when you click the bell also, but you don't have to click the bell. Well, you can click the bell, basically you get notified whenever I post video. But if you do subscribe, it really helps increase my engagement. It puts me out there more. So please go ahead and do that. You'll know whenever I post video at least once a day. I try to. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So with that being said, let's talk about this. So here I have an article from People. Why Meghan Markle didn't join Prince Harry on his trip to Tokyo and Singapore. And it says the Duke of Sussex is in Asia this week, appearing at a sports summit in Japan and playing in the Ballet Polo Cup in Singapore, but his wife didn't tag along. Now let me just first say here that it really doesn't surprise me that Meghan did not go, okay? Meghan is on a path right now that's very particular. I think she's going to be very choosy about which events she goes to for safety reasons, but also I think she's giving Prince Harry his opportunity to shine. I think that this is one of the first times where Prince Harry has really been able to garner a certain amount of independence. And when you're in a family that suffers from narcissistic abuse, no one gets to be independent, especially if there's one figure who's really the narcissist. But if everybody's a narcissist and there's one scapegoat in the way that Harry is, which I think that the scapegoats of that family have been Harry and Diana, like he's truly his mother's son. But yeah, they don't like when you go your own way. And so I think that it's not just safety, because clearly we know that if Meghan were to go, they'd have to increase on security. It just shows the level of obsession with the woman. People like to say they don't care about Meghan. They like to say they hate her. But they put her life in danger quite literally every time she steps out the house, because they just go absolutely crazy. If that right there is like you don't like someone, I don't know what it is. It might be a love-hate relationship, but you got to admit that you really like the woman. But yeah, I think it's also her giving him his time to shine. Now, this article was written by Janine Henney, and it was posted on August 9th, 2023. It says Meghan Markle didn't join Prince Harry on his trip to Asia this week. The Duke of Sussex, 38, touched down in Tokyo on Tuesday ahead of the ISPS Sports Values Summit Special Edition event, speaking of the summit on Wednesday. The appearance came before the 2023 Santa Ballet ISPS Honda Polo Cup in Singapore takes place this weekend. Prince Harry established the charity Santa Ballet with the Prince Cecil of Lesotho, hopefully I'm saying that right, Cecil of Lesotho, in 2006 to help children and young people affected by poverty, inequality, and HIV/AIDS in Southern Africa. Since 2010, the Polo Cup has raised over $14 million for the organization's work, and Harry will saddle up for the match on Saturday. Now, let me just pause there and say this. To see Harry's devotion to Africa, to see his real devotion to Africa, not wearing a blackamoor pin, you know, and making that somehow seem like you're an anti-racist, but his true anti-racist work, because I've said it in other videos, it's so wrong how history has done Africa. It has abused Africa of its resources because it is such a resource rich continent. Colonization has just ripped apart Africa with war and strife and grief and genocide and rape, and it's where we all come from. Every single human being, their ancestry dates draws back to Africa. And the fact that people think that Great Britain, just one small country, went and colonized about half of the doggone world, and that it's not a racist country in 2023, the people who are saying that, and the people who are back in the UK talking about these things like this, like saying, "Oh, the UK isn't a racist country." That right there, to me, I mean, if you guys have not read it, I would love if you've heard of it. And derangers, because derangers often sometimes kind of creepy crawl onto my channel as well. If you guys really want to understand how these people who are the derangers, like the guard dogs of the UK, who have come after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle with the angry, violent virility of like a freaking pit bull going after a steak, you know, how they've been so absolutely hateful towards Meghan, to think that she would even have the audacity to question an institution as great as the British Empire. I want you guys to read a book called The Soviet Russian Manual on Brainwashing. Now, it was published anonymously in 1955, I believe, but it's pretty much known that the writer is a guy named Lavrenti Beria, okay? And it's my new favorite thing in the world, because it really talks about how brainwashing works. It really talks about how communism, how populism and fascism, authoritarianism, even monarchies kind of basically punish people over the course of decades, like years and decades and generations. You know, all of these little jabs. We go back to the fact that back in the day, Britain used to guillotine people in the freaking corner square, and people used to crowd around and cheer and eat mutton. You know, it's like, yeah, they did that. Africa was a chess piece in that. It was a cog in all of that. And so there are people who are really, really dangerous. They're really, really dangerous. They are protecting the monarchy based on these levels of essentially authoritarianism. These derangers aren't just, oh, internet trolls. They have the potential to be extremely dangerous. I think New York proved that. So I think that Meghan is staying away very clearly for security reason. Look at what's happening with the RICO case in the U.S. You know, people don't like me to compare U.S. and U.K., but I'm going to keep doing it. In the U.S. with Fani Willis, with the RICO case, look at the two women who were just basic volunteers, you know, working to do the voting machines, you know, working on the voting, the elections. Look at how they were targeted by crazy MAGA extremists and white supremacists. I mean, people sending them death threats, people saying, oh, you know, if this was 2020, it'd be a whole different story. Random people coming up to their house. Like, it's scary. It's scary. And what did these people do? Nothing wrong. They just carried out their duties. So, these ideas that are rooted in white supremacy and communism and fascism, authoritarianism, autocracies, it's really not something to be taken lightly. And so the way that people come after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, I really need Sussex Squad, but I also need like the Rangers to understand that it's not just because she broke royal protocol a bunch of times. It's not just because she's an actress and you think that she's acting whenever she's being actually just herself. It's not because she's an American and she's much more liberal than the standard. It's not because you know, even that she's a mixed race black woman. You know, it's really rooted in the fact of brainwashing. And it's time for people to break up out of that. Keep your monarchy if you want to keep your monarchy, but be educated. You know, one of the biggest, tools in the toolbox of communism, of fascism, of autocracy is having people be ignorant. So many people following fake news with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. This is something that we got to be aware of. It's something that has to be talked about. So the article goes on to say, while Prince Harry will continue his trip to Centrevale flagship fundraiser, Meghan likely stayed back in California to spend time with their kids, Prince Archie 4 and Princess Lilibet 2. Pause there one more time. So, Meghan Markle has really put herself and sort of differentiated herself as mom first. Mom first. All the other stuff comes next. I think with some of the other senior royals, that's really not where that is. It's like my image comes first, PR comes first, homes and estates come first. There could be a lot of stuff that come first, and then kids are just kind of. But I think that Meghan has really said, no, my kids come first. Even the fact of her not going related back to that security thing, it's also, I think, a sense of her saying, I gotta be here for my kids. I think both her, to be honest, if I were a fly on the wall in Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's, personal space and hearing them talking and planning, looking at their schedules and stuff, I also think much of the security where they're like, we gotta just keep you safe, Meghan, because people got a crazy, weird obsession with you. I think it all kind of also comes back to Archie and Lily. Harry and Meghan are trying to keep those babies safe. And power to them. Meghan, 42, is probably enjoying the last weeks of summer with their children, spending time at the beach or going for walks with the family's 3 dogs. You guys, we all remember that kiss between Meghan and Harry at the Polo Cup. I don't remember if it was 2018 or, it was 2018. That was so sweet. You know, and if you think about the dynamics of it, that was before they left their senior roles. And I think something that is a very common thread with empaths and narcissists, and in this case, the empaths are Meghan and Harry. The narcissist is like the whole freaking UK. Narcissists hate to see you happy. And so while the world gushed about that kiss, the way that people gushed about that kiss between Diana and Charles, it seems like the whole of the dang on UK was at the same time also seething with hate and anger. And something that someone who is extremely insecure, that narcissistic personality, even if they don't consciously really know why they're doing it, when they're insecure about their looks or their ideology or their feelings or their emotions or their intelligence, when they see someone else who has that, they will just basically try to take them down, usually slowly and insidiously. And I think that basically right now in 2023, we're watching a slow build up, this slow burning attempt at destruction. But sussexsquad, we're not going to let them destroy them. And I'm really hoping that we're moving into a time right now where we're really taking note of these narcissistic systems and individuals and powerful people that are guiding us in the wrong direction. I hope that the carnival of so-called experts, the circus that is the derangers, I hope that they will eventually listen up to know that you don't have to be a brainwashed cog, for some people or some systems that don't care about you at all. I just want to kind of put this also into perspective and lay this out. So while another article from ET, this is from Tiana Lee. It says Prince Harry goes shopping for wife Meghan Markle while traveling solo in Japan, and this is August 10th, 2023. I recently got tickets to Euro Disney for my birthday. My birthday was recent, and it's also summer, so it was part of our summer vacation and part of my birthday present. And I got exactly what I wanted for my birthday. I got a carrot cake, and I got tickets to Euro Disney. And, my husband, when he surprised me with the tickets, and like when we had the tickets and the cake or whatever, he came home and he was trying to like hurry up and shower because he works in construction. So when he gets home, he's like all dusty and stuff. And he was trying to hurry up and shower, and I was like, "Hey, can we walk up to the grocery store together? Because I want to get some makeup wipes or chocolate. I don't even know what it was." And he was like, "Well, I can just go by myself." And I was like, "No, I'll go with you." And he's like, I'll just go by myself. It's okay, I'll go myself. And he was trying to go and get me some flowers, without me knowing it. And I was like, "Babe, I got my carrot cake. I got Disney. Like, I don't need flowers. It's okay. Like, don't make it overkill." I really pride myself on not being someone that's that high maintenance, although he might say something different. But then again, that was just a show of his love. That was supposed to just be an act of his love that he wanted to show to me. It wasn't an act. It wasn't an act like a fake facade act. It wasn't something for Instagram. It was just because I got a really sweet guy. I think that Prince Harry is the same way. So I know that there's a lot of derangers out there that are going to say, it's all just for show. It's all just PR. If you know anything about Prince Harry, how much he shows consistently, how much he friggin' adores this woman, and he adores his children. Instead of people being happy for that, they're going to want to sully it. But anyway, this really didn't surprise me at all. So it says, this week, the Duke of Sussex was joined by his friend and polo player Ignacio Nacho Figueras in Tokyo, Japan for the ISPS Sports Value Summit Special Edition, which was held on Wednesday. Though the men were in town for business, they had to remember the golden rule: happy wife, happy life. On Wednesday, Nacho took to Instagram to share a picture of him and Harry getting a little shopping in for their wives, though it looks like they may have picked up something for themselves. The caption said, "Shopping for our wives, a big thank you to Tokyo for your generous hospitality and kindness towards us, and of course, for your continued support of Sentebale." It's just good people. I feel like the Dan Wootons and the Piers Morgans and the what's her name, Angela Levin, and the Camilla Tominys, they're really in public figure life for the perks, to look good and the PR. There's a lot of senior royals that's on that thing too. While these guys are saying, happy wife, happy life, I just wanted to get something for my wife. From the behavior that I see from everyone else who is really a part of that carnival of so-called experts, I don't see that genuine authenticity. I don't see that genuine empathy. And again, read that book. Read that book about brainwashing. The good people, in these eyes, the good people become the bad people, and the bad people become the good people. Look at what's happening in the U.S. with MAGA Republicans. The bad people become the good people. The good people become the bad people. So then, back stateside, Meghan goes to a Taylor Swift tour, which this right here is so funny because I've been listening to a lot of Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato and Jonas Brothers and Miley Cyrus. I'm just getting back into that early 2000s, guys, think back about 2014, 2015, how saner, how much fun, how lighter the world was, at least in the US and the UK. It's time for the little people to take the power back. We're not here to just be foot soldiers for billionaires who are, having bad behavior. We're actually people. So, anyway. So this is an article from ET, and it says Meghan Markle attends Taylor Swift concert while Prince Harry is in Japan, and this is from August 9th. So I really thought that it was an interesting dichotomy of what Prince Harry was doing and what Meghan Markle was doing. I really feel like people have in their head that Meghan Markle is some huge, how do I even want to say it? Like sort of a blimp flying over the city, and that she thinks she's so superior to everyone. Again, the good people become the bad people, and these people who have been super duper indoctrinated in their eyes, they think that she thinks that she is the ish and that she is answerable to no one. They think that she is arrogant and angry and fake. I think the inauthenticity claims towards her that are constantly coming out is the one that's most hurtful for me, and I know other squaddies, because she is everything but inauthentic. She is like the epitome of authentic, especially when someone who's made it and they still can just be a normal person, you know? Um, I think that she's been showing with her Otis Redding playlists and, flowers and going to cafes and this Taylor Swift tour. I think she's also just trying to do her thing, man. It's like, just let the woman do her thing. Recently I deactivated my personal Instagram and Facebook account. And I've done this several times. My It's the Real Najwa. The channel account is still open and everything, but I rarely post on there. I really need to get better with that. Social media really just does not come easily to me. It doesn't come natural to me, even though I literally work in digital advertising. But as far as my own life, I like the way that Mila Kunis, who also is not a huge, social media person, she doesn't even have any social media accounts. She said it best. She's like, what am I going to tweet about? That I'm walking from one room to the next? And it's kind of like that. It's like, why do people crave for everyone to divulge every piece of their life? Again, I think it comes back to that brainwashing thing. Back in Britain, during the 14th and 15th century, it was very, very common for there to be peeping toms, of these little bird watchers, but except they weren't watching birds, they were watching people. Go to Hampton Court Palace, you'll actually see these little peeping toms. They're little statuettes that are actually carved within the masonry of the building, and they're looking down on people. Yeah, they were real people. Look at Queen Elizabeth I's court. There were people who were just spies, like legitimately just spies. Nobody was paying them for it. It was just like, that's what they did. If you ever watched the movie The Watchers, creepy white people just watching you. It's just like that's coming from the days of communism and monarchies and dictatorships. I mean, it's just creepy. But anyway, people watching Meghan. They watching her. But I feel like that's very, very repressive for her. I think she just wants to live her life. In the same way, for me, it's very repressive to be, I feel like it's a job to constantly check my personal social media accounts, where I really would much rather just be out living my life. My husband and I and my friends, we go on our little adventures, and we go to different music venues, and we go to clubs and bars, and we go to these cute, cool little, even if it's not anything really extravagant, but just going out into nature, going to this city that's like an hour away that we heard is really pretty, or going to this bridge, or going to this nature reserve, or going to this park. It's like, it doesn't have to be for social media. It could just be for you. And I think that people who have been really, really indoctrinated, the derangers, the carnival of so-called experts, they don't really understand that. They don't really understand just enjoying something to enjoy something, not enjoying something as something to show as entitlement to your snobby rich friends, or something to show off that you have a perfect life on Instagram when nobody has a perfect life, or something to validate your ego. Like, you guys know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? Like, put it in the comments I don't know if I'm just, if it's just me. Anyway, so it says Taylor Swift's star-studded Eras tour just welcomed royalty to the show. Meghan Markle stepped out to attend the 33-year-old singer's Tuesday night performance at Los Angeles' SoFi Stadium, ET confirms. Other prominent figures at the fifth night of the pop star's six-night Los Angeles run include Selena Gomez, Taylor Lautner, Emma Stone, wow, Austin Butler, wow, Adam Scott, Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, Mariska Hargitay, I don't know who that is, Courtney Cox, I know who that is, Savannah Guthrie, and Kaya Gerber. Past celeb attendees at the singer's LA shows include Charlize Theron, and they just go through a lot of big names. At that point, they just name dropping. Of course, they have to go into this stupid split stuff. So it says, despite rumors flying around about a split between the couple, Harry and Meghan are presenting a very united front, royal expert Katie Nichol previously told ET. Now, I feel like this right here, I feel like people are actively going on Google using key terms like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle split. So, I don't know that there are really, really, real good guys in this whole thing. I think ET is cashing in on its portion too. I think people is cashing in on this portion too. But hey, that's the game. I get it. But at least I do know when I go and look at ET and people, it's not gonna be totally one-sided vitriol. But I do know that because it goes on to say my experience with Harry and Meghan. Whenever I've been with them as a couple who are very close, have a sort of spark between them that always struck me as being very authentic. She said there is no evidence of a split. So that right there, it's just like, guys, just tell me what you think about this. Tell me what you think about this, because in the UK, a lot of these crazy, stuffy, snobby derangers, they don't believe in authentic love and sparks. They believe in like, oh, I'm just married to you and I'm supposed to be robotic and that means I'm really showing love. It's like, again, the bad guys become the good guys. The good guys become the bad guys. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. If you're new here, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. Hit that bell. That way you know whenever I post video. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.